All right, guys, I'm back at my house. Vacation's over. The Jazz are now have lost 5 in a row. To this time to the Chicago Bulls. I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy to be talking to you guys, sitting in a chair with my background and everything. Let's talk. Let's go. It's the Hoops Their Post Game Show. All right, guys, let's just get into this right away. I'm ready to talk about the Jazz again. I missed it. Going on my phone is just not the same as going live with you guys. So, we're back. We're back. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you ate a lot of food. I know I did. I probably gained like 5 pounds. I've been weightlifting, though. I've been getting, look at these. Look at this. Look. I'm getting bigger. Getting bigger. Anyways, I'm back. Thanksgiving is done. The turkey was good and plentiful. I hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. All the best wishes to you and yours. All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls. The Jazz have lost 5 in a row now. 5 in a row. This is crazy. All right, I'm going to turn on the thing here, and I'm going to make myself smaller. So let's talk about the Chicago Bulls first. The Chicago Bulls are, let's see, I'm not quite sure where they're at in the standings. After tonight, the Chicago Bulls, I'm actually surprised they're below 500. I mean, I haven't been following them closely this year at all, so this is based off of complete ignorance. But tonight, they seemed mostly together. I'm wondering if, I don't know if, let me know in the comments, has Caruso been out? That guy just makes plays off the bench, and he reminded you why they were so much fun last year. And I'm a big fan of Ayo Dosunmu. In the SLC Dunk manager draft, he's the one I drafted, I think it was 2 years ago. And he looked great to me. And when the Bulls picked him, I thought, those guys, they made the right pick. And he's looking, his rookie season, he looked great. I'm not quite sure what he's doing this year. Let's just look at the stats here. Dosunmu tonight played 21 minutes. He was 3 for 5 from the field, 8 points. He was a -7. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, Bulls fans, what you think of Dosunmu. But he's one of those guys that can kind of fill a stat sheet. Now, I don't know if he's going to take it, take things to another level. But he's a guy I really like, and I'm wondering if this guy could take another step. It might be one of those things that can take this Bulls team to another level. I think this Bulls team had hoped that Patrick Williams would be a little bit more impactful. We had heard this offseason all of those rumors about Rudy Gobert for Patrick Williams, and I don't have really any sort of sources inside the Jazz. Sometimes I'll hear things from certain people that I trust with their connections and things like that. And, I think there was some truth to this Bulls stuff, but it never probably reached all that much fruition because, the Jazz had a better. One thing that I appreciate about Danny Ainge is he was not going to make a trade for this Jazz team that didn't get him what he thought his players were worth. And the trade he made for Gobert with the Minnesota Timberwolves is turning out to be absolutely fantastic. Yes, the Jazz lost tonight. But so did the Wolves, and they look terrible. That's going well for the Jazz. But anyways, back to the Bulls. I'm not quite sure what to think of Patrick Williams. I love the tools and everything he brings, the size, 6'7". He's strong, he's athletic. He struggled with injuries, and you kind of worry when players like Patrick Williams, who needed time to develop, and I think he was number 4 overall. Yes, pick number 4. If they don't have time to just develop, and they get injuries earlier in their career, it would be interesting to do a study on that. Like, do these guys tend to not pan out when they have those early injuries? Does it kind of stunt their growth? And, it makes you wonder. But this season so far, he's doing similar numbers. It hasn't really gone up. Field goal percentage is down. 3-point percentage looks pretty decent on 3 attempts per game. So that's interesting. I would like to see him, if I'm a Bulls fan, to get more minutes and just what more can he give me? Because he plays 24 minutes tonight, 5 points, 5 rebounds. You're hoping you get more out of a number 4 pick, right? I mean, that's pretty brutal if this is what you're getting. I mean, think about that. If the Jazz get a number 4 pick in this upcoming draft, that's probably like Brandon Miller or Amen Thompson, and you're pretty ecstatic about that. So if I'm a Bulls fan, this is pretty rough, for him to be 1 for 4 and it's one game, but 9 points per game for the season. I mean, come on. You would really like to see something better than that. The story of the game for the Bulls is typically DeMar DeRozan and Zach Lavine. Lavine could not shoot the ball tonight, and believe me, I paid attention because I had him on the over on Prize Picks. It was at 22.5. He gets 20 points. DeMar DeRozan really was the one who played. He was the guy that last season that had that Bulls season that was so much fun, was playing at like an all-star, all-NBA level. Some people even mentioned MVP for DeMar DeRozan. And he did what he did last season tonight against the Jazz. He just kind of closed them out at the end of the game. And a lot of that was getting to the free throw line. His game is a lot of it's just based off of his ability to score in isolation in the mid-range and get to the free throw line. Tonight, same story. 45% from the field. He only took 1 3. He's not a high volume three-point shooter, but what he does do is get to the free throw line, he scores, and he can score in crunch time like that. And so it's really, really, I'm kind of surprised this Bulls team is the record they are, because they're below 500, they're right around 500. I would have expected them to be above 500. And maybe they'll do that. Vucevic had a nice night against the Jazz, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot pretty well from the field. He just couldn't knock down the three. So interesting stuff. And we mentioned to Alex Caruso, he's such a good defender. You would think that if he could just stay healthy, that they would have something. And the other thing that they're missing out on is Lonzo Ball. Remember, they don't have Lonzo Ball playing right now, and that injury stuff is pretty sad. You would like to see Lonzo Ball get back. Hopefully he can get healthy, but it sounds pretty rough. For some of the stories we heard this offseason with Lonzo Ball, it's just like depressing. So it would be nice to see Lonzo get back. I really love Lonzo. He's one of those guys that I was hoping for the Jazz back with, Donovan Mitchell. I felt like he would have been a perfect fit next to Donovan back in the day. Now, obviously, no, and it kind of worked out, because Lonzo's kind of injured. So if I'm a Bulls fan, there's some things I'm disappointed with. The Patrick Williams thing is not quite turning out, and Skeep Red, you can calm down, my friend. But Patrick Williams, 1 for 4, 1 for 2, and so, anyways. Let's see. Let's put in this. And now let's talk about the Utah Jazz. But before we do, this adds a big shout out to Esquiveret. This one's for you, Esquive. This one is for Prize Picks. Sponsors the channel. Go to Prize Picks and go Hoops Nerd and get up to $100 of Prize Picks. Sven's in the channel, my man. Sven from SLC Dunk. Let's see. What we're giving Sven the time of day. Sven, by the way, go follow him on Twitter. Absolutely fantastic. Incredible writer. Sven's on the channel. Sven, by the way, I need you, Sven, on the SLC Dunk podcast on this channel, by the way. We got to do that more on the SLC Dunk and have it on this channel and on SLC Dunk. We got to do more of that. Sven, you got to get on here, Sven. Anyways, hey, James. Well, no, I got to finish the ad. This one's for Esquive because he loves it. He loves Prize Picks. Esquiveret loves Prize Picks. This one's for you, Steve. Skeevy. Prize Picks. Hoops Nerd promo code. Up to $100 free money just for you, Skeeve. Go do it right now, Skeeve. Go to Prize Picks and use promo code Hoops Nerd, and they will give you up to $100 of free money. Of free money for you. I lost tonight, but you know what? I'm okay. I'll survive. But anyways, it's a lot of fun. There is no endorphin hit better than when you put like $10 down and you make $30. It's pretty fun. Go do it, guys. Promo code HoopsNerd. Be responsible. Be good. Don't do something stupid. But one thing that's not stupid is going and signing up for Prize Picks. It supports the channel. It supports me, and I appreciate it. All right. Let's read Sven's question here. Hey, James. Sven here. In my opinion, simply trading Kelly and Mike will be enough to get us to the 5 to 10 range. A lack of rebounding and facilitation alone will tank us enough. I agree. 100% agree. I mean, here's the thing. The Jazz are 1-5 in games that Mike Conley doesn't play. We could go back to Twitter and we could retweet things from certain people on that application that said that this Jazz team was too... I mean, even me. I mentioned one time, one game the Jazz were so good and looked so good. I even wondered, is this team even going to be able to tank even if they do trade Mike Conley? Well, the answer is yes. You get rid of Mike Conley And basically, who is the playmaker on this team, right? I actually felt like tonight I was really impressed, even though, and Skeeve, I was kind of wondering if Jordan Clarkson would get the over on 22.5. He did not. He shot 3 for 15. Sometimes that happens, okay? But anyways, 8 points. But what I did appreciate from Clarkson is he was really moving the ball. He was not hitting his shots, and so he made a point to move the ball, and that's why you see the 9 assists here. That was great. But this Jazz, even Jordan Clarkson moving the ball like that, you need the efficiency from him. That's one thing that Mike Conley brings. Like, even on a bad Mike Conley shooting night, he's going like 1 for 7, It's never a shooting line where it's just like devastating. This is just really tough, And I love Jordan Clarkson, and I, sometimes you're just going to have bad games like this. But without Mike Conley, who's the dynamic playmaker on this team? You can look at some of these players and say, well, we've got a bunch of drive and kick guys. THT is kind of that. And I'm actually kind of surprised THT hasn't started, although the decision-making tonight was pretty rough. And it's just not quite there. And so maybe Will Hardy is right and I was wrong all along. Although, and I guess you do got to give credit to Colin Sexton. And he did have 6 assists. But, man, it is just, when you go through this roster, who's a dynamic playmaker that just sets others up to score? Because there's a difference between hitting an open guy and they knock down a shot and, like, creating open shots for other players, right? You watch Chris Paul play, and one of the things that makes Chris Paul so incredible is that he's getting assists because he's setting other guys up to score. He's moving within the paint. He's running a pick and roll, and he's finding ways to move the big so that his big man opens up, and then he gets them with the perfect pass, and they score. Things like that. This Jazz team has a lot of guys, and Jordan Clarkson's a very good player, and he's improved a lot this year, and these 9 assists are impressive. But, you're not really watching Jordan Clarkson run a pick and roll like a Mike Conley, who runs a pick and roll and is really just like controlled, calm, makes the right play. If they go under the screen, he takes the 3 and he knocks it down. If they go over the screen, he drives to the hoop. If the big man comes to cut him off, then he hits the other big to score in the lane or at the hoop. If the big man doesn't drop, then he does his floater and he scores, If they guard it really well at the rim, then he's good enough to find the open 3-point shooter on the corners. And so it's not really quite there, that dynamic playmaking. The Jazz just don't really have it. They still find ways to get assists, though. You'll look at this. 30 assists as a team is pretty good. And so I guess you could probably argue that maybe the playmaking isn't quite the problem as much as just efficient scoring. But they did get efficient scoring from multiple guys tonight. Lauri Markkanen had a monster night. 32 points, 12 for 18 from the field. Kelly Olynyk had a nice night. 23 points, 8 for 13 from the field. So really the big thing that they were really struggling with is, one, just kind of a controlled offense that sets up guys for better shots. And I think someone like Jordan Clarkson probably has a nicer percentage tonight if someone like Conley plays, because it means he's not being guarded by their best defender type thing, But what was really rough for this Utah Jazz team is they just can't seem to get defensive rebounds. They just don't have a dynamic playmaker that really sets everyone up and controls the offense, and they don't have dynamic rebounders. Lauri Markkanen can grab rebounds, 9 rebounds, 4 rebounds for Kelly Olynyk, and he's basically playing center. I mean, they have 7 rebounds from Jared Vanderbilt, but offensively he's just really limited. It's really, really dependent on what? A playmaker, and the Jazz don't have it. I love Jared Vanderbilt. Jared Vanderbilt's one of my favorite players on the Jazz right now. 3 assists, 7 rebounds. He's kind of the Jazz's version of Dennis Rodman. He's doing like everything else out there to win. And so it's really tough. Skeeve, if you're doing prize picks, you have to choose from 2 different teams. And since I watch the Jazz, I just base it off of, if I could, Skeeve, I would bet it both on the Jazz. I would. But I cannot. It is the rules. So you have to bet on the other team and the Jazz. So that's how it goes. It just is what it is. But anyways, speaking back to Jared Vanderbilt, to me, he's like the Jazz's version of Dennis Rodman. And look at this, 4 for 4. He actually knocked down a 3, 9 points, 7 rebounds. But it's just the Jazz really lacked that punch, and their real superstar on this team was Mike Conley. He really was. Playing at an all-star level, he was setting all these guys up, averaging, like, he'd get anywhere between, like, 7 and 13 assists a night. I mean, he had that 13 assist night like it was nothing, you know? This system was made for someone like Mike Conley who can go out and just set everyone up. It's why, you know, you go out and get, like, a Scoot Henderson. Can you imagine Scoot Henderson in this system with his speed and his passing and his ability? I mean, forget it, you know? And let's not even talk about Wembanyama. In this Jazz system where it's a shared system where it rewards people for passing the ball and the passing we've seen from Wembanyama, his shooting, I mean, forget it. You give that guy to Will Hardy, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And now we're seeing someone like Brandon Miller, Amen Thompson. I mean, Amen Thompson is going to be Vince Carter in this offense. If we get Amen Thompson, you're looking at modern day Vince Carter, man. Freaking crazy. And that thing, I'm going to go ask Raphael if he can come on the podcast again. If you haven't watched it, go listen to the Raphael Barlow podcast I did like 2 months ago. His favorite thing was the Jazz getting both Thompson twins. Could you imagine this offense with two athletes like that? Insane, you know? And if those guys develop, it's getting kind of crazy. And with the Warriors are not the Warriors, the Wolves are already struggling. There is a world, guys, where this Utah Jazz team gets 2 top 5 picks. 2 of them. We're doing our Tank-a-thon thing, by the way, at the end. But it's just, I know the losing sucks, and it sucks for me. My numbers suck. They suck. When the Jazz lose, I lose tons of money. I just do. That no one likes a losing team, okay? And they stop watching and they stop paying attention. But for those of us who really want to win a championship, this is probably what you want. And here's the thing. You know, we've talked about this, and I guess we can dive a little deeper. There's a few things that were a little weird. If you want a championship, you have to have a dynamic guy. You just do. And things are working out perfectly for this Jazz team. I mean, this Wolves team, like I said, is bad already. They're like 10 and 11. By the way, the Jazz have the same amount of losses now as the Wolves. And we've talked about how bad the Wolves have been. The Jazz have the same amount of losses. They've just played like so many freaking back-to-backs in so many games. They've got to be a little exhausted. But if you put that type of dynamic player on this Jazz team, then it's pretty remarkable. And the thing that's an issue with how much these guys have proven to be dependent on Mike Conley, if your whole season is dependent on a 35-year-old Mike Conley, who, by the way, him being injured is nothing new. It's something that he's dealt with every year he's been on the Jazz. It just comes with being an undersized point guard who is 35. I mean, I'm 39. I turned my ankle early this summer. It took me 11 months to get better. My wrist hurts from weightlifting. It hurts every day. It doesn't get better. And he's playing a professional sport. Okay? I'm eating Twinkies, and I can't get better. Mike Conley's playing against the most athletic people on the planet. I can't get better after eating a carrot. All right? Skylar Unsworth, YouTube YT Audits. My man, $5. Thank you. You might regret. Maybe I hope I didn't make you mad, Skylar. Jazz will get a bunch of wins once Conley's back. That's basically it. The Jazz record with Mike Conley is like night and day compared to when he's gone. And I guess that's what it comes down to. Like, if you want to make the playoffs, you need Mike Conley for this Jazz team. You just do. These guys are all this Jazz ecosystem, whatever you want to call it, where like the chemistry and on the floor, it is really dependent on Mike Conley. He is the sun to this solar system, and everything really revolves around what he does offensively. Defensively, the Jazz have to figure out something, because Mike Conley being gone has not made this defense really bad. You know, I don't think Mike Conley's a bad defender. I actually think he's average to good at times. But I get a little nervous when Mike Conley's playing super hard defensively just because of the injury thing, you know. But Mike Conley being out has not affected the Jazz defense or the Jazz rebounding, you know. Like, the Jazz have it's just kind of it's interesting. Vanderbilt's a solid rebounder. He only plays though, like he usually, this is like not uncommon. Like this is about what Jared Vanderbilt plays every game. He plays about 20, 25 minutes because he is just a little limited in certain ways. He does, this 3-point shot is interesting though. Can he develop that a little more? I don't know. Maybe. Markkanen, you would think, I mean, he does rebound, so the rebounds weren't all that bad, but Kelly Olynyk, this is where it's interesting, and maybe we can talk about Kelly Olynyk for a second here. 4 rebounds. That's just, you needed 6 or 7 from him to win this game tonight. You just did. And some people will say, well, why isn't Walker Kessler playing more? Well, Walker Kessler looks like he kind of struggled. Will Hardy pulled him after 5 minutes, which was kind of weird. And I guess let's talk about that for a second. Udoka Azubuike plays, and he was a +5, So anyone saying Doak was a bad move, well, he was positive, so he was, and this obviously has a lot of noise, but being a positive in a loss is not a bad sign. At worst, it's not a bad sign. At best, it means he was holding his own. And, he had that one bad foul, but he does have size. He does grab rebounds. I mean, 5 rebounds in 9 minutes. Pretty solid rebound rate. He did score 2 points. He can't hit a free throw for the life of him. 0 for 4. My goodness. That's really the issue. But, I don't know if this was weird. This was the one thing where I'm like, did Danny Ainge have a meeting with Will Hardy? This is the one where I put my tinfoil hat on right here. Because, I know that Doak's not going to be on the team next year. They didn't up his contract. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't think, this is just strange. This is just one of those things where you're just like, this is interesting. Are they giving Doak minutes because is Kelly Olynyk going to be moved? Kelly Olynyk was available for trade, by the way, on the 22nd of this month because it was 2 months after the Jazz made the trade for Kelly Olynyk. And so are they trying to get Doak a little acclimated? There was a little bit of weird vibes in this game. I'll be honest. Like, these players know a lot more than we do. And they probably know more than their agents do at times, and their agents will get info from them. Maybe the team had some sort of meeting, or maybe a few of these guys had some sort of sit down, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone talked to Markkanen, and although he did play tonight, so I guess that's me this is me spitballing. But this game had a little bit of a weird vibe to it at times, which makes me think maybe something might be coming. I don't know. But playing Doak when Walker Kessler has had a really nice season, and I would like to see Walker Kessler be able to work through his rookie issues, is just kind of interesting to me. He had that monster block, by the way. 3 rebounds. I don't know. That was weird. That was strange. So, and you know what? I bet they're going to be extra cautious with Mike Conley because if they are going to make some sort of move, they're probably trying to keep him healthy and they're going to let him rest until he's 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Conley comes and plays in 2-3 more games. By the way, Shams was right. Shams came out and gave that news, and I wrote the SLC Dunk article about it, and I used Shams as the source. Trust in Shams, by the way. We've learned this multiple times. Some people try to take shots at the Giants, at Shams and Woj. And guess what? Shams was right. Certain people were saying, no, I don't know why Shams would say that. He's going to come back sooner. Well, turns out Mike Conley's missed 5-6 games, and Shams was right. So, I don't know. This was strange, guys. This was weird. And it wasn't, in my opinion, because Kessler was bad. After the game, Will Hardy did make some comments about this. He mentioned that he liked the physicality of Doak. And I guess I can see that. And like I said, he was a +5. But I also wondered, well, is it a back-to-back? But it's not a back-to-back. They play the day after tomorrow. Like, where do we go here? Let's see. Watch. Let's see. So this is today. Oh, God. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Jazz don't play tomorrow. Right? I can't see through my light there. And then Wednesday, so the Jazz play, I believe, yeah, the Jazz play the Clippers on Wednesday. So it wasn't a back-to-back. So weird things, okay? Very strange. By the way, let's look at the standings now. Right here, look at this. The Jazz in 1 week have lost 5 in a row, and it drops them to 9th. And look who they're next to, Minnesota Timberwolves. It's crazy. I'm kind of looking at Cleveland's still up there. Okay. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I just thought that was kind of something that needed mentioning. That was kind of bizarre. Malik Beasley, he played 32 minutes tonight. He's dropped off. Remember, he had those 2 games where he scored like 50 points in 2 games. And now his shot's not really falling, and you can see how much that affects things. 11 points. If Malik Beasley has a big game, they probably win this game tonight. Honestly, they only lost by 7. So if you want like the positive take, the Jazz had a game from Jordan Clarkson where he went 3 for 15 with 9 assists, and Malik Beasley goes 4 for 13. He only hits 3 for 11 from 3, and they only lost by 7. You know, that's your positive thing. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was 1 for 5. He's so up and down and hit or miss. This is what I would like to see, though. I at some point, we've got to look. If they lose this next game to the Clippers, things are going to get kind of interesting. I would like to see Simone Fontecchio and Ochai Agbaji get more minutes. You know, I want to see Ochai Agbaji play, to be honest. Like, I can't quite understand why he's not playing. You know, and at a certain point, if Taylor Horton-Tucker is playing like this, minus 12 and 1 for 5 and 2 turnovers and, you know, did he have any assists? Oh, my gosh. Horton-Tucker was 0 assists and 2 turnovers. I mean, come on. At a certain point, can we just get Agbaji on the floor? Whoa, Lakers just choked a 17-point lead to the Pacers and lost on a buzzer beater. No way. We could be the Lakers, guys, by the way. If you need any sort of solace, like, you could be the Lakers and not have picks for 5 years, and you're terrible. I mean, it could be worse. All right, so, guys, it's now time to do our nightly Tank-a-thon draft. If you haven't already, go to tankathon.com. They're the freaking best. If you go to the mock draft, look at this. Brandon Miller at 5. Cam Whitmore hasn't even played, and he hasn't even played yet. He comes back this month, by the way. I'm excited to watch Cam Whitmore. This guy right here, guys, this guy is one of the most... This draft is crazy. You know, we're just talking draft, and I know who some of you just are not happy when the Jazz lose. I personally am. We haven't even seen Cam Whitmore yet, and he is one of the most ferocious dunkers I've ever seen. Like 6'7" seems like... If that's true, that's smaller than I thought. He looks bigger to me. He is, like, massive. And when he dunks the ball, it looks like he's tearing the rim off every single time. He is, I mean, and he's going 6? Are you kidding me? Asar Thompson, twin brother of Amen, is going, like, 7? And he's scoring 24.5. You know, his brother scoring 20 points with 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Look at these. It's just a good draft. And if we get 2 top 5 guys, could you imagine if you came out with, like, the Thompson twins? My goodness, dude. And don't even talk about Victor. Oh, my gosh. I mean, if you get this prize jewel, I mean, come on. Come on. All right. Let's see. Let's do it. Are you guys ready? We now have, look at this. Minnesota's at 11. We have 2 lottery picks. And here's the cool thing about Tank-a-thon is it shows you the odds. Combined, we have between the 2, we have a 11% chance more or less to get in the top 4. between the two. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, let's say it's the lottery and it started today. Let's see what happens. We just got Scoot Henderson from Minnesota. Starting point guard for the Utah Jazz. The fastest man in the NBA. Scoot, 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 Scoot Henderson. Woo, woo, woo. And then at number 14, who do we get? At number 14, we snag Khalil Ware. Nope. We won't draft him. We might trade back or something else. And then who else do we get for the Jazz? Julian Phillips, 6'7" freshman from Tennessee. I don't know anything about him. But we just got Scoot Henderson. And if we get Scoot Henderson, baby, in this system, in this economy, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Have you guys watched Scoot Henderson, by the way? Have you watched Scoot Henderson play basketball? He's the fastest man on the planet. You just drafted the Flash. You just drafted Scoot, baby. Oh, my gosh. Get the banner already, all right? Number 2 pick. Put that in the banners. I don't care. We don't have anything else. Number 2 pick in the draft in one of the most awaited drafts ever. Rah! So, I love it. I love it. Number 2, baby. Scoot Henderson. Look at this. Look at this. Small sample size alert. Points, 3-point percentage, assists, offensive rebounds, steals. He's just dynamic. He's so great. And I love his fire. I mean, that game with him and Wembanyama was so good, guys. Oh, my gosh. When I see a guy like just absolutely the fire, I don't know. He's like, when we talk culture, you bring that guy in, that's the culture you want. That's the culture you want. All right, guys, that's all we got tonight. Everyone here tonight, I'm so happy to be back. So happy. I missed every one of you. I missed you all. Thank you for being a part of this channel. This season might go kind of down in this direction, but in a way, down is up. We enter the upside down, okay? We enter the land of Tank-a-thon and the land of hopes and dreams and possibilities and Cam Whitmores who tear the rims off the backboard. By the time we have Scoot Henderson on the Jazz, they might have nice uniforms that look good on Scoot. I want Scoot to look cool, okay? So let's just root for Scoot and let's make a trade. Let's make I'm super happy that the Pacers won because guess what? That makes them less likely to trade with the Lakers. And you know what that means? The Lakers might be more willing to trade with us. You can have Mike Conley. He's yours. Have him. Have him. This is me doing ballet. Have him. Have him. You want Kelly Olynyk? Have him. Have him. Have him. You can have him. Just give us 2 unprotected picks in the future when LeBron is retired. You know? And Saunders Clark, you're right. It's time to give Ochai Agbaji some minutes, okay? Can we give Ochai Agbaji a few minutes, please? Please? The man can shoot a 3. He's athletic, and he's really attractive, okay? Give the man some minutes, okay? No one's going to look better on my thumbnails on my channel than Ochai Agbaji, okay? Okay? He's going to get me the views with that perfect bone structure in his beautiful face, okay? Get me Ochai Agbaji on my channel. I need something more attractive than this, okay? Than this. This ain't making the money, okay? His face is. His face gets the clicks, okay? I need him. I need him, okay? Okay? Come on, Will. Do me a solid. Play the models. Play the models. Play the models. All right. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. Let's see here. Play the models, Will. Get me them clicks with them attractive guys. I need it. I need it. This face ain't doing it. I used to put this face on the thumbnails. It didn't help the clicks. I can tell you that. I can tell you that. This was a face made for Twitter, which is words. This wasn't a face made for Instagram. Okay? Okay? Let's give a shout out to our All-Stars, baby. Let's give a shout out to Ryan Perry, the legend. Jared Chanderville. Chantheric, Jorge Arrizaga, mi amigo de abajo. Baby Elliot Matson, Jordan the GOAT, Festival, Just Buckets, JP, Zap Watts. By the way, Zap Watts, new staff writer at SLC Dunk, baby. TGD, Total Game Domination, Christian House Money to Haas. Tyson Price, The Price is Right. X marks the spot for Zintis. Joshua Hansen, the Danish Destroyer. Ezekiel Wright, Seabait, the man from down under. Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire. Donald Schooley, schooling all. I have a hair on my mic. Where are these hairs coming from? Donald Schooley, schooling all of us. CW to CB, Jared Williams to Carlos Boozer. Patrick Kubo, the connoisseur. And Robert Hall of Fame. Guys, if you haven't already, go to Prize Picks and sign up. Free money for you, my friends. Free money. Promo code HoopsNerd. It's right there. Match you up to $100. Also, if you're new here and you're a Jazz fan, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Join the channel if you'd like to support it. I would appreciate it. It will make my life that much better. Tyler 2K, I like the Weissman idea. I really like it. Is the music too loud? I can't tell. Is it too loud? Can you hear me? Do I need to lower it? I don't know. Let me know. Let me know. We got drop-offs. Maybe you can't even hear me ask that. Maybe you can't even hear me. It's very loud. How's that? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Let me know, guys. Is that better or is that too loud? I have no way to hear back. Better. Okay. Okay, guys. Well, if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you next game.